Okay, I'm going to begin the process of setting up to sharpen some end mills. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you from start to finish how I basically do it. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the air bearing that I built, the air bearing spindle, and I'm going to take it over here to the surface plate, and I'm going to get the center height. I have done this once before, and I thought I scratched it on, the height on, but I haven't. So this time I'm going to do it, and then I'm going to steel stamp it on the air bearing mount, and that way it'll be there. So anyway, I got it sitting right over here, and we'll take and put it on the surface plate here. Gonna get you looking at the surface plate. So what I'm going to use is I'm going to use my I've known them by the name of Cadillac gauge. There's a lot of people call them different names in different areas of the world and the country, but in our area they're called the Cadillac gauge. Some people just call them a high stand. Well, it's high stand for us is this is the high stand. It's a veneer high stand. You can get digital, but I got a veneer, and I don't use the reading on the high stand. I use the Cadillac gauge that I've got. I was lucky enough to buy that in a 5S auction sale where I work. I think they go for new for anywhere from $6,000 to $12,000, and I got it for I think like $50, $50 or $60, and really nothing wrong with it. As far as the operation of it and the accuracy and everything. They thought they couldn't calibrate it. They were having a hard time calibrating it, and they couldn't get it calibrated. The only thing was wrong was underneath this tamper-proof material. There's a little set screw which allowed this barrel to move a few tenths. So they said it was shot, and they sold it. Well, I did some research or searching on it, and I found that, well, yeah, that's loose. This is wiggling. Tighten that up, calibrated it. It's dead on now. So, and it's way more accurate than what I need in my shop. But hey, I'm not going to complain. I'll use it. So what I'm going to do is I'm setting up an indicator in this high stand. I'm going to find I have a little end mill in there, 3/16 end mill in here, but it doesn't have to be in there. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up the top and the bottom of are you in the shot? I'm going to pick up the top and the bottom of that shank here. So I'll just take and get it over here and get it close. Drop it down on there. Okay. I want the high spot. My needle looks like it's loose. Oh, it is. Not going to get a very accurate reading that way. The needle is loose. Alright, let's try it again. I noticed it was kind of fudging around on me here. Alright. I don't know if you guys can see the indicator dial or not. I'll look here in a second. Okay, there's 0. I don't know if you guys can see anything. I don't know if it'll focus on that or not, but it's at 0 right now. So now I'll go over to the Cadillac gauge here, and I will go in this step right here, and I'll crank it up. To my 0. I'm going to come off of it and go back on. Okay, so that is, I gotta get a pencil and paper. Come on. A piece of paper here. A pencil. And it is, oops, sorry. It's 5 inches. And if you look up here at the dial, it's 440 and 2.7. Okay, so now we'll go back to this shank here, pick up the bottom of it. We want to figure out where that center line is. So we'll take and get to the bottom of the, we know the diameter of that shank. It's a 375 shank in there. Right there, 0 again. Now that's the bottom of the shank. And we come back over to the Cadillac gauge here. And now we'll crank down on it. See, now we were on the top of this step. Now we're going to be on the bottom of the step, and both of these steps are exactly straight across from each other. So we'll crank it down on it. And what I do is we're going to have to run out of stroke, so I got to go down to this step down here. So crank it back up here and get to that step. I should have known that. I haven't used it in a while, I guess. It's got 200 thou overlap, and if you're out of that range, then you got to go to the next step. Okay, so we're in that step, which is still 5 inches. Drop it down, come back up, right to 0. So we're at 5 inches and 68.9. So it's 0.689. So, okay, and we know that it's a 375 diameter, which is a 187.5 radius to the center line of that. And now we'll just subtract these two, and we get an 8, 3, 7, 3. Coming up, that shank is showing it to be a thou and 2/10 undersize. I just wanted to double check that. So I'm going to use this number here. I'm not going to. So we'll take that, divide that in half. So that's 1.869. And then we take the bottom number, 5 inches, 0.689. We add that to it. So that is center line height. So what I plan on doing is, I think I'm gonna stamp it in here somewhere. I think I'll take this, well, you know what, I think I'll put it right down on this ledge here, the clamping ledge. If I can get a hammer in there to tap it, take the spindle out. Yeah, I think I'll take, or do I want to put it somewhere else? I'm not sure where I want to steel stamp it. Maybe I'll just take the Dremel tool and engrave it in the side here, or better still, right on top. Yeah, I think I'll put it right here, right on top, right on the top here, with the Dremel tool. So I'll get the Dremel tool here and a stone, a small stone. See if I can find a small stone out of the kit that's laying here. Get a bunch of stones and stuff laying here. Move this out of the way so I don't bump it. I do have some Rory burrs too. I could use one of those. I'd like to use just a small stone. Got one laying down at the bottom here. Yeah, that one might work. Okay, so I'm going to try to scratch that in there this time, and not just say I'm going to do it and forget about it, because I think that's what happened. I was going to do it and got sidetracked. So 5 inches. So we want a 5. Whoop. My stone come loose. Where's my little wrench? Tighten that baby up tighter. It pushed in on me. Yeah, it's not going to push in now. Kind of messed my 5 up a little bit. Let me straighten it out. So 5 inches, 200. 55. And 8/10. There. Oh, I'm going to put center line just so I know center line. So now, the next time that I come to sharpen end mills, I won't have to do this step again. And the reason you need to know that height is in order to set the wheel at the right height, so you'll get correct relief angle. I will get my little cheat sheet, my little book that I printed off of my PDF file of the book that I bought. I bought this book. It's one of the shop wisdom books. And so what you need to do now, and because I don't remember myself, I think it's 15 degrees. Plus I have to come back and set this finger at that height too, at the center line height. But now I want to set for the primary relief is 5 degrees, and I think the secondary was the primary clearance should be about 5 degrees. So what I've done, what I do, get my protractor out here. Haven't used it. I don't think I've used it since I've sharpened. Ooh, I got some gritted rust starting on that. It's laying in the drawer too long, not being used. But anyway, I set this set it at 5 degrees here, off of. So 90, and then I'll set it at 5. Set it at 5 degrees, tighten that down. Just scooch this up. And what you want to do is, I want to take and scribe. Oop, you can't see what I'm doing, can you? Sorry. Okay. I set it down, and it's leaned back 5 degrees, and I want to scribe the center line height right here. So we know what the center line height is. 5 inches. 255. Gotta go with you. Gotta go down. Oh no! 255 and 8/10, and really the 8/10, even the, you're not gonna, it's not gonna be that close or that accurate, but that's the number though. So now I'm gonna put a scribe in the high stand. Just so happen to have a carbide scribe laying here. And I'm going to take and put a dab of fresh Dykem on that. What I should do is make myself a bar that's this, that would fit in here, and engrave the lines on there. That's a someday project, I guess. You can see I have used it last time, and like I say, I haven't used it since, so that's why there's red Dykem all over it, and I haven't wiped it all off. It's a little humid out today, so it's not drying as fast as it normally does. But anyway, now I take the scribe over here onto my Cadillac gauge here, and set it underneath here. Set my scribe to the right height here. I'm probably boring people to death here, but this is how I set it up the first time. So, okay, so it's set to the height center line height that we just found, and now I take and I just scribe that line on here. And on the side. So now I've got a pretty decent line right there. As long as I don't loosen it up now, I gotta leave it where it's at. But I have a nice line right there and across the end. So now what's going to happen is I'm going to get the mill set up or with the grinding wheel, and the grinding wheel will be, well, let's just pretend like this roll of tape is the grinding wheel. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the grinding wheel over there so that when it touches the scale, it touches it right on that. So that's adjusting the center line of the grinding wheel to that height. So I'll adjust it so it just touches right there, right on the scribe line. And once that's done, then that'll be set at the correct for grinding a 5-degree primary angle on that. But I still have to set this finger at that height also now. I'm going to set this aside because I'm not going to get to it today. Just showing you what I'm doing before I go over and actually sharpen end mills. If I get time tomorrow, I'll go and we'll set up the mill with the grinding wheel, and I'll show you that process also. And then after that we'll see if we can sharpen some end mills. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my indicator back in there, and I'm going to set it to the height of 5 inches 255 8/10. Right there. So that's the height I want, and it's kind of a trick to pick up that, because what I did was I got it's actually sheetrock knife blade in there that I ground, so it's nice and thin. Because I want to try to do small end mills, so you have to have a really thin finger in order to be able to do a really small end mill. So anyway, I need to adjust it up. I'll loosen the thumb screw and the nut underneath. Let's see if I can zoom in to see what I'm doing here. Come on, focus. Focus. Not gonna focus, are ya? Dirty buggard. Looks like that's about as close as you're gonna get. All right, so now I just go ahead and adjust this up. And then I gotta kind of move my indicator around to see if I can. My eyes aren't what they used to be, and it's kind of hard to see if I'm even on the needle. I think I am, right there. I think I'm lined up with the needle. Oh, I see the needle move. Oh boy, that's pretty close right there for the first try. I'm just a tad high. Now I'm about a thou low, which is fine. What that'll do is, I'd rather be a little low than a little high, because a little low will actually put a slightly more of a slightly more, a slightly larger relief angle. So instead of 5, it might be 6 thou. So now that should be, I'll have to adjust it in and out, but yeah, it's got to go in, but it should be set and ready to go, I hope. I definitely like this little unit though. It sure does a nice job. It's once you get it set up, it's so easy to use that. So anyway, I think that's going to be about it for today. Like I say, when I go over to the mill and set that up, I show you from start to finish here. I'm going to attempt to show you from start to finish here, and this is the start. This is what I do at the beginning to get it ready to go. So anyway, I can't think of anything else, so that's going to be it. So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll catch you later.